Aloha! I'm Sila, and in this video I want to talk about some practical uses or examples. I actually want to start a video series on that for our inner senses. Now, as I've covered in a previous video, a rough definition or a basic outline of the function or application of our inner senses, I think it's fair to say that you may experiment with this in every regard and just notice in each moment how you actually already use them as to become more playful, more flexible, more stable, more creative, more deliberate, more sovereign in our or your use of inner senses. Now, of course, our outer senses being an extension or more like a specific manifestation or creation of our inner senses, all our movements of energy and actually our physical movements are directed through our inner senses. So as babies or as newborns, we learn to move through our inner senses, how our body connects with our attention, with our energy, and how we produce various movements, or how we use our muscles, our whole digestive system, for instance, or even the function of our brain is directed through our inner senses if we don't do it automatically. So one practical use, and for this we may use the vibrational quality of white through our body. Oh, that was a bit much. And which I would say it is to feel your body from the inside. Now, as you may know, we have a sense of touch, but actually all our cells and even each atom has the ability to sense in a concept that we could define as touching what is going on, how it interconnects with other cells, atoms, energies. One moment. And how it, well, what is actually happening. So imagine your brain fully fully white, and just feel intuitively into how it connects with the whole of your body or various body regions. For instance, there is a most immediate line of the big cell group of the tip of my left index finger to my brain. And if I clear that area and it is not holding energy, then suddenly there is more clarity also in my brain and in my whole perception, in my whole energy. So we may apply this while we engage movements such as running or walking, swimming and so on, or we may do this while doing yoga, meditation, tai chi, anything really. And it is like the most neutral vibrational quality that is resembling, or that is inherent to the quality of all of consciousness, that of course we are, and we are within all areas of consciousness. So with white we relate to various different areas, and it may quite well, it may be quite helpful and well, leading to a lot of widening, not just physically and through our energy, in our energy field, but also like how we connect to other areas of consciousness and what information we may also draw to ourselves or access pretty accurately or with a precise intent and also precise translation. So what I mean with using white, what we actually do is we direct all our inner senses, meaning again empathic, conceptualization and differential time, towards that area. And with that we may also play, like for instance, you may try to feel, okay, how are the cells communicating to each other, or how does even a single cell feel to you in terms of signaling or energy or awareness. What is the cell, for instance, living through or experiencing in a moment? With that we connect empathically, but of course through our inner sense of conceptualization we are kind of narrowing down or conceptually on what we can filter. So with that we may really engage all kind of scopes and degrees of abstractness or intuitiveness or objectification and get information. But of course with every given point of view we only get a certain data set in every moment, and the inner sense of differential time may be used to slow this process down or go back and forth, like, what have I just experienced like some moments ago. It's not merely accessing through memory, but revisiting in the now what has been experienced or what is then being experienced, and with that we may even increase the memory or the accessible parts of our past or future. And when I say our, it isn't necessarily limited to our individual body or energy field or where we are with our attention or where we are focused. We may literally access, of course, everything with that. Now, use wide and, of course, be loving to yourself. Notice, appreciate and acknowledge what is going on, what we're doing. Nurture yourself. Pay attention to our direction of attention, because just to make it clear, we always create more of what we focus upon, or what we create just what we focus upon. And when we continue a direction of attention, we continue that expansion of ourselves into that direction. And so also the feedback of perception and including our inner and outer senses increases or widens or deepens and so on. So we have to be intentional with that again. Now, with that being said, all kinds of senses may be expanded with our inner senses, and when we just connect to a single cell or to our whole hand and so on, you may get all kinds of input or impressions, sensations that you can imagine, or that plays even a factor to you, like for instance the temperature or the pressure or how much fluid there is in there, the electrical dynamics and so on. Like it's not merely physics in the conventional sense, or this certainly is expanding the reach of our scientific discipline and era, and it will no longer be merely scientific. Anyway, I know I talked a lot, so please have fun. Let's remind ourselves of the glorious beings of essence and consciousness that we are, so that we engage these activities, these explorations in pleasure, and continue to create what we prefer, and pay attention, of course, to what is resonating with us and all the communications from self. I am Sila. Aloha.